What's up, man? Welcome back to another podcast, Kingsman podcast edition. Today, we're going to talk about something really good. We're going to talk about being overwhelmed, whether with work, wife, relationship, all of it. How do you handle it? What does it look like? How do you deal with it? Stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome back to another edition of the Kingsman podcast. Mike Hickman here. This is my good friend, Todd Goodwin. Oh boy, we're talking about a good one, especially in today's life. I don't want to get too much into kind of like what the world does to us today. I really want to kind of stay focused on overwhelmed and not just the feeling of, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, like truly what men feel like the burden of provision, the burden of marriage, like we discussed, you are responsible for your marriage and your wife.
Is it a burden though?
And
We'll talk about that later. Okay.
Talk to my wife maybe. But, kids, be a good dad, be a good worker. You're running a business. You're a manager. You
got a lot going on all at one time.
Yes.
What's that movie out? Everything all at once.
And there's only so much you can give, dude, before you just like, I don't care, man. Or you break, or like what men do, and this is what I kind of want to start with is a lot of guys who have, let's just be honest, they've been set free, redeemed, turned loose, freed from some type of maybe a drug addiction or alcohol or porn or gambling or, some type of ism, some form of, I'll just call it lust, that's not godly, that we held on, that was always our mechanism, right? Maybe it's spending money. Maybe it's a hobby that was more than a hobby. And then when your world gets out of control and it's just chaos and you're like, I'm just trying to put little fires out. A lot of times you find sometimes where people revert back to that because that's the only thing I can control. That's the only thing I got, right? We say fall back or go back to or go back. And I know you got something for me, but
you got a lot of thoughts.
To start off with that bomb, how do you get out of that? How do you address that first as being overwhelmed and address immediately maybe some old things that have been made new that are trying to creep back in your life in a time of weakness?
Well, first of all, people talk about being overwhelmed. I remember being a teenager. I remember being a young adult, a young father, middle-aged father. Now I'm just old. But what I'm saying is that, there are times where life can be overwhelming, or I could say life gets a little tough.
Yeah.
But it seems to me, this more of a current generation, they talk about anxiety and being overwhelmed all the time.
Yeah.
Like, matter of fact, somebody said something the other day. I was eating lunch, and they said something about, so-and-so said that you were really stressed, that I was stressed because of the new building. And I was like, no, I wasn't stressed. Did I have a lot going on? But I was not stressed. And the reason I'm saying that is that I started thinking, well, she wants me to be stressed, or she thinks I should be stressed or overwhelmed. But I'm like, I'm not. And you go, well, that's easy for you to say because you don't have this going on. You don't have that. I've had all that going on. Now, the reason I'm asking this or saying this is because a lot of young people, they say this, my anxiety is acting up. What your anxiety? So you own that? That's something that you get, or that you own it?
So you labeled it. Yeah, mine.
It's mine. Okay. I'm like,
okay.
Well, the Bible talks specifically about anxiety.
And the power of the word.
Yeah, and about we should be anxious for no thing. And then you go, but you don't understand what it's like.
That's what I mean.
You are the first of 11 sons that Alan and Amy Hickman had. He had plenty of opportunity to be anxious. He's had plenty of opportunity to be overwhelmed. I walked with your dad for the last 24 years in ministry, and I'm like, well, I guess he's doing good. I'm like, 11 boys, a lot of reason, but this is what I told him one time. I said, 11 boys equals one autistic daughter.
Yeah. That's right.
He started
That's
laughing
right.
like,
Oh,
yeah.
touche. Okay. Yeah, you know, I can give that to you.
I mean, so I'm asking, why do we think that we should be overwhelmed? Why do we think that we should have anxiety? Who told you
There you
that
go.
you should be anxious?
So somewhere along the lines from a couple of generations bled into mine, I think it got told to us by who? By they. The infamous they.
Whoever they are.
Satan. I mean, it
Our
obviously it was
culture.
a Satan.
Our
Our
culture.
culture said, like, look, you know, oh my God, you got this much going on. You should be anxious. You should be stressed. Your anxiety must be out of this world. And to be honest, I don't know what what do they call them? Anxiety attacks?
Yeah.
Is that I don't know what that is. Like,
And I
do
know
you just hyperventilate? Like, is it like you just, or I mean, I'm not making light, but at the same sense, I guess I just had a upbringing where, baby, you're a man. Life's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Period. Life comes. It don't matter if you're a good man or a bad man.
Yeah.
Life is going to hit you, and if you don't have the Lord, what do you don't have anything, you don't have any answers. You don't have any ability to be successful in those seasons.
Life will gut punch you. Alan said that in our staff meeting the
Mhm.
other day. It's going to gut punch you. I've had gut punches before, and you're like, oh, I did not see that coming.
Mhm.
However, once it hit me in the stomach, I backed up and go, all right. Let's take another look at this.
Mhm.
Not through my eyes, but how God sees it.
Perspective.
And what's God's perspective on this? We need that 30,000 foot perspective. God's got it.
Mhm.
When you're this close to a situation, when you're this close, it's hard to focus on something behind it because my hand is the biggest thing
Yeah.
in my face. But when I just move it to the side and I can have a better focus, I can see a lot. I'm in a big room.
That's right.
Well, right here, all I can see is my hand. And I think a lot of our anxiety, a lot of our being overwhelmed is because we're focusing on all this stuff.
A perspective
one time.
problem. I agree. You focus on the mountain or multiple mountains. Now, I don't want to make light of, like, I'll give personal experience. Okay. Work's growing. It's growing and we're not prepared for the growth, or we are preparing for the growth and figuring out
It's growing a little bit faster than what you thought.
than what we thought, which is a good thing.
Which is a
That's
good
not
problem.
bad problem, but it is intense, has been since January. Okay. A lot of time. All right. Well, I also have a marriage that I would like to end up very well and continue to grow. Love my wife. I love being married to her. I also want to be a dad. I want to be a good dad. You know,
You also want to go hunting.
yeah, I mean, like,
You
look,
also want to do these other things.
I have hobbies that I have.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go play golf. But we give that up. I'm also coaching a 7 and 8-year-old baseball team, a 9 and 10-year-old baseball team, and I'm dugout dad for my daughter's 7 and 8-year-old softball team.
And you also have a house that you have to keep up.
Yes,
You know, when
bills are
things
coming,
break,
baby.
You can't just go pay somebody every time something breaks.
You know, and there's a lot of decisions all day, which, you know, that's intense.
Do you think
That is intense to where you're like, gosh, like just some type of reprieve. Like, it's all going haywire. Like, I get home, go this, pick up your 6-year-old. Let's go to practice. I'm going to go to the other field for 9 and 10 practice. And then we're going to do this. We got to help with homework. Right.
Would you say though that all that is on you and this fact that you and your wife haven't planned,
yes,
haven't scheduled,
Mhm.
and you don't have to do everything.
Mm.
Now, I was this way when I was younger. I thought I had to do everything. I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't go to bed till 11 or 12 o'clock. And I'd sleep for 5 hours. I'd get up because I didn't want to miss out on anything. That's that FOMO, fear of missing out. I'm like, I gotta be there. I don't want to miss out.
Yes.
And I think sometimes we bring that life's overwhelming to us, and we bring the anxiety on ourselves because we're not disciplined.
Good. And in your time management.
And
And
just in
what you
life
see, like
itself, yeah.
Steve Jobs defined things like this. Every given day you wake up, you have frequency and static.
Mhm.
Okay. Frequency is your clear radio signal, clear signal. Frequency he defined as the things you must do in 18 hours. What must you get done in 16 to make that week happen or your job successful for just that week? We're not talking about 5-year goals, 6-year plan for all that.
Just
We're
that week.
talking about
Yeah.
that week to clear checks for your people. Those 3 things everything else is static. It gets in the way of those 3. All right. And then he applied it to other areas, but you start thinking like that, like, okay, I'm going to define in the morning my big 3 or your frequencies, whatever it is. Because then he had a whole millions of dollars of brain studies that said, dude, your brain can only handle 3 to 5 major decisions a day in 24 hours.
I'm like,
Think about that.
I know I've made
millions of dollars.
over the last several months. I've made a lot of
I'm
decisions,
telling you.
and that's why sometimes people go, "You said," I'm like, "Well, to be honest with you, I don't remember what I said, but I need you to text that to me so that whenever I forget,
yeah.
I can go back and look at it." But here's the thing: is you're saying you're talking about those 3 things or whatever. Like one of the things I can tell you right now, I can look at my phone, look at my calendar. I can tell you what I got done today because I planned out. Now, sometimes I have to pivot from time to time? Yeah. I mean, there's several things like we're recording this when we should have been doing it a day before, just simply because we got busy and forgot.
Life. Yeah, life.
And now, if that happens on a regular basis, that's on me. That's on me. I didn't plan. I didn't look at it. I was being undisciplined. And that's one of the reasons why. And this is when I say this, you're going to go, oh, that's why vacations are so important. People take vacations and they do so much on their vacation and they have to come back to work just so they can rest.
Yeah.
And something God told me years ago, I was working 7 days a week, just in the ministry, doing all the religious, ministerial ministry things, and they were all good. And one night I was really tired. I was about to doze off, and the Lord spoke to me very clearly. He goes, what makes you think that you're greater than me? When I made the world in 6 days and I took 1 day off and I rested, why can't you do that? You are making yourself greater than me when you don't rest. And buddy, that hit me like a ton of bricks. And from that point forward, I started going, okay, I don't get my Sabbath on the Sabbath.
Right.
I will take a Sabbath because this is part of what I do on Sundays. I'm here, I'm working at a church. I said, but I'm taking a Sabbath. And my wife knows that. She takes a Sabbath because if not, life will get overwhelming.
Yeah.
Life will be anxious. Yes, we will get at each other. Our tempers will get short.
Because both of us we're running on fumes, right?
But we shouldn't be running on fumes.
That's right.
That's why we need a Sabbath. That's why we need rest. The older I get, the more I realize, and I think it's funny, the older I get, the more I rest. And I'm like, it's ridiculous. I'm like, I want to do more because I don't have as much time to do it all in. But that's where I have to go back and say, Lord, am I doing what you told me to do? If I'm doing what you told me to do, I don't have to worry about the rest.
See, I think one of the cool things that you said, like Sabbath, I have to take. Basically, what I hear or how I kind of try is you are very intentional with your time, as specifically time off and setting time to where you're like not zombie mode, like just decompress, but time where you are away from kind of chaos and you are personally, physically, mentally, whatever you want to call it, emotionally,
spiritually, all of it
here, but you just kind of dialed down. You don't have anything planned. And see, that's one thing that like Emily and I started doing that again. We started having intentional date nights. We tried now all of our kids go to Covenant Kids. They're all 3 in it. So Wednesday nights, that's our 1.5 hour window where, we've got 3 or 4 restaurants just here in town, nothing big, like go and I get chicken. It's Wednesday night at whatever it is $1 wing night.
Yeah.
sign me up. I love wings. And we just sit there and we talk and we laugh a
And
little
you
bit.
enjoy each other's company.
Yep. I turn my phone on, the do not disturb and vibrate. And that's what we like. That's just what we do. The only rules were no arguments, like like.
We're not going to be talking about
That's right.
business or family stuff. We're just going to enjoy each
That's
other's
right.
presence.
And sometimes that's hard. I understand that
Yeah, it
because
is.
sometimes you may have been kind of at each other Monday and Tuesday, which we have, which was cool to see that we both kind of sat down. I was like, this is nice. I've needed this just to shut it down just for a second. That's been important because, dude, like right now, I need to find a time to get her away and give her a break. I need to give her a weekend. I've got from March 1st to the second weekend in April, baby, we are booked. We are
Go.
booked. Now, it is important because a lot of it is PYA stuff. Then it's a couple of things with the kids, and it's close friends doing baby shower. It's important for that. But she's already kind of, just kind of worn thin, which sometimes people that say it's 50-50 is crap.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. It's 100%, 100%. If she's only can give 20%, I gotta be able to give 100.
I got to make up the deficit.
Yes.
Yep.
But I can't give that to her right now. We can't. I mean, there's just not time.
See, here's the problem with that is that people go, I just don't have time. I was doing some marriage counseling, and I said, the reason you grew apart is because you weren't intentional on growing together. You allowed life to overwhelm you.
But yes.
I mean, it's that simple because you allowed life to overwhelm you because you're too busy.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I know some people are going, oh, but you don't understand. These are necessary. I'm telling you, it's not that important. You don't have to do everything. It's just not worth it because I can tell you right now that after 36 years of marriage, me and my wife love to spend time with each other.
Y'all do.
I'm
genuinely.
And we were sitting at lunch and at what is it, downtown Betty Case.
Mm-hmm.
I had some cash in my pocket. I never have cash. I said, I'm going to treat my wife to a gourmet meal. So we went and got some hamburgers. and these 5 older ladies came there. Mm-hmm. And I was, Nina was just loving on me. She's getting close. And I could tell them they were looking at us. They go, thank you for letting us sit here. And I leaned over to my wife. I said, watch this. And I stirred them up. I stirred all those older ladies up. Oh, my God. It was so, and she's like, you are so bad. Oh. But here's my point was that, yeah, life can get overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Life can get difficult. I look for the fun times in there.
Yes.
And they laughed at me and found, actually, one of the ladies, I didn't realize, goes to our church.
She saw her on Sunday. Was like, "Hey, look up."
I got them kind of stirred up. Yeah. But my point being is that when life gets overwhelming, pull back, find something to laugh at. If it's yourself, if it's your children, find something or someone to laugh at.
You know what's crazy? Pretty sure the Bible said laughter is like a good medicine.
Yep.
Sometimes when I've had a day where I'm just like, whoo, and then Wyatt, I love Wyatt. He's my youngest. He's 6, and he's got a great little personality. Couple days ago, there was a lot going on, and I could tell Em was thin because she's been carrying weight. Getting the kids different places and doing some things, and she's just kind of tired, and the kids are going, and I'm like, man, I have got nothing in the tank. I'm just so exhausted. But dude, Wyatt came in, Dad, why do you have hair on your nipples? I mean, dude, like just point blank, and I was like, and he said, and I was like, well, that's what happens when you become a man. And he said, I don't want hair on my nipple. I was like, I can't help it, dude. He's like, well, am I going to have hair on my butt? I was like, "Oh yeah,
Oh,
big thing."
here it goes.
And dude,
Here we go.
and then it went kind of, a couple other places, and Emily is in the kitchen dying. And I want you to know, like when we put them to bed, at about 9 o'clock, or we put our kids to bed at 8:15, 8:15,
Yep.
period. And
Yep.
that right there is essential for me and him. Just maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. Maybe we exist in the same presence of each other and don't say anything.
Yeah.
Maybe we talk. Dude, we got there and she just sat down next to me and was dying laughing. And I was laughing. And all of a sudden, man, both of us kind of got cracked up, and it just, it's like I
peace.
could breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's so true.
Scientifically, it's been proven endorphins are released when you start laughing. There is something about laughter. And my wife says, she goes, this is what she goes, I married an 80-year-old and now I have a 6-year-old.
Yes, 100%.
I
don't ever want to grow up.
I'm like, I don't.
It's fun. Life is too serious.
Life will get overwhelming
Yes.
if you allow it to.
See, I think so. One, first of all, is going to be perspective.
Yeah.
Not your perspective, not my perspective. Like what you said. That's right. You need a God perspective. What does he say about you? Number one, my peace I give to you. If I'm a Christian, I got that. Not my peace, Micah peace, but my peace that surpasses
from God
understanding peace. Okay, let me just say that to myself and take a couple of breaths. Number two, if it's all chaos all the time, now I'm not talking about seasons.
Yeah, there's seasons, yeah.
There are seasons, and sometimes I remind myself and Emily that, like, we won't always have this, and I'm going to miss this. By God, I'm going to miss it.
You will.
All right. So number two would be time. Okay, I know perspective. Whew. Is it a season or is it a reoccurring nightmare?
Yeah.
Okay. After I pull back and I'm kind of like, okay, I try to discern, like, this is just a season. Okay. If it's a reoccurring nightmare, then that's me. All right. Clearly, I'm making some bad choices. So then we're going to go to, like, okay, time management. Number one, what's important? How do I do? What can I chop? Like, I would love to get back and do, some of the things working out and training that I do. I just don't have the time. I'm not waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go work out for an hour and a half. It's not. It's not. Yeah. It's just, in the grand scheme of things, this body, this is what responsibility looks like. Okay. This is what I told my wife. Like, this is what taking care of responsibility is. But
never heard it put that way.
The next one, okay, that I think is really a big deal is understanding, as a man, you are called to be a Marine. Okay, and I want to tell this story. In 1970 or 60 something, there was a Marine recruiter, an Army recruiter, Navy recruiter, Air Force recruiter, Air Force, Navy, Army, all got up in front of this big gymnasium of thousands of college kids, said, you should join the Army because GI Bill, college paid, great career, things like that. Shoot tanks. Air Force said, you GI Bill, fly planes. Navy said, you join us, great career, tech, all around the world, travel, GI Bill, all this stuff. And they were very well dressed, clean cut. The Marine recruiter that they had was old, and this dude had a scar and no eye. And he said he sat up there at the podium and didn't say a lick for 60 seconds and just looked and was shaking his head. And he said, look, I need to apologize. He said, they told me to come here to recruit Marines and tell you why the Marines are going to be a great life and, all these opportunities you'll have. He said, but, I'll be honest with you, I don't see any Marines out there. Because when you're a Marine, it's not a great life. You'll probably hate it at the beginning. You're the first one on the field. You're the last one to leave. You're the first one to do grunt work. You're going to get shot at with live ammunition. Some of you will die. You're probably going to lose some limbs. You're going to lose some brothers. It's hard. The bond you have with your brothers is the only bond in life that matters when you're on that field. You trust each other unquestionably with your life and their movement, and they go, and I just don't see that out here. I don't see that out here. He said, "So I'm sorry for wasting your time. I'm done." That was his speech.
Very motivating.
They said later when it was over, they had a handful of people at the Army, Navy, what they had over 1,000 men in line. What does that tell you? Men are willing to give up and die for something greater than themselves. What does it say? Pick up your cross, die daily, carry your cross with me. As being a Christian, as being a husband, as being a man, part of the understanding, I guess this goes with perspective. When it gets hard, it's like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Is understanding like, hey, baby, this is my calling. I am called to, yes, let my own personal stuff die to Christ and have a relationship, but also I am recruited and my job is to be a Marine on the field. If you're not going to stand up for your kids, then who else is?
So you ever noticed something about Marines is that Marines say once a Marine, always a Marine. All the other, I don't know everything about it. I don't know if I've ever heard the other branches say that. It's always, I'm former.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's a little different. But here's one of the things I think that in our society, in a younger generation, that I think, just my opinion, is that they get overwhelmed by life because we as a nation have an individualistic mindset.
Yeah.
When you were talking now in the military and in sports, it's all about the team.
That's right.
But a lot of times when I get overwhelmed, it's typically when I'm doing life by myself.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do it alone. And we were never meant to do life alone. None of us were.
And I think there's things, it's so funny that growing up, some of y'all, if you don't know, my mother is an amazing, amazing woman who absolutely is close to sainthood, if anybody is. Man, you want to talk about a praying, talking to the Lord, loving woman. Well, you know, she had poster cards of every promise that God gave her all over my house, colored, the refrigerator.
No matter where she went, she could see a scripture verse.
I swear to you, it's so crazy how it comes back to the promise of some of those promises that I remember. You are not alone. Wherever you go, I'm with you. Oh, that's simple prayer. No, it's not. When you're overwhelmed and you got nothing in the tank, it's like somebody give me something. Just something.
Well, see, here's the thing is that you're trying to drive a car with no gas in the tank.
Yeah.
When we should be ministering and doing life from the overflow, not from the reservoir.
That's right.
And that's what we're doing. We try to fill up and then we'll use all that, but we're not doing anything to keep it constantly flowing. And that's where the Holy Spirit comes in, where he's constantly working in my life. I'm constantly in his presence. I'm not coming in and out of his presence. I stay in his presence on Monday, just like I am on Saturday night or on Sunday morning. So I'm always reaching out and pouring my life out to my family, to the people around me, from the overflow. Not from the reservoir. If I do the reservoir, eventually you will deplete it, and that's where people burn out. I mean, I've been doing this for 44 years. And have I wanted to leave it? Yeah, every now and then when I get mad at somebody, they didn't do something I wanted. It's always selfish. I'm quitting. I'm out of here. It'd be easier to do this. And God's like, really? I'm like, no, sir, I'm going to do what you tell me to do. But my point here is that you got to fill up and stay full and then minister from the overflow. Like a glass is just constantly, but it's got a constant source feeding it.
That's right.
And what we do is we think we can show up on a Sunday morning, hear what the pastor has to say, eat that spiritual food, and don't do anything for the rest of the week, and then show up on Sunday and eat another meal. I mean, honestly, could you live on one physical meal a week? You couldn't. You would eventually die from malnourishment. So you have to have that constant source being poured into you.
To get that though, especially men, deep down inside, if we've made mistakes or if there's shame that's undealt with, we know. And what's the excuse? I can't have that relationship because you don't know what I did. But I want to remind you a pretty cool story. You probably know it. All right, take you to Peter. Peter,
Mm-hmm.
Peter and Jesus were, I mean,
Peter, James, and John were the three closest
that's
to
what, I
him.
mean, they were pretty much like neck and neck, right? Okay. Well, Peter, there's a stressful time going on. Stressful time. You're about to lose everything you love. The Messiah, the prophecy, you're about to lose it. Everything you believe in and you've said, like, and Jesus is telling him, like, I'm about to be gone.
And he's also told Peter, "You're going to deny me.
Oh, bingo.
I will never
Never.
deny you."
Never. In the chaos, in the moment, in the the stress of everything. In the moment, he made a decision. He denied him 3 times. Okay.
Think about this: a little 8, 9-year-old girl, just a little girl. Hey, he's one of them. He turns around and he cusses her, and not just cursing. You know, like beep beep beep.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
Let her have it.
And let her have it. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
You know, that's
Super
what
confused.
that's on his mind. He knows what he's done.
Okay. So what does he do? Jesus dies. What does he do? Where does Jesus find him? He reverts back, which is what I said at the beginning. I have made a mess of things. I have failed, especially with men. When you fail, boy, it's hard not to just pull back and subvert yourself. I have failed. I have resentment and anger, and I revert back to the only thing I know, because this is all I know. Jesus is resurrected. What's the first thing he does?
Yep.
He finds Peter. Now, here's the cool thing that I didn't know. From where Jesus was resurrected to where he found Peter again a second time and recreates the whole thing. Cast your net over here. The whole was 81 miles or 80 miles. He got up. Let me go find Peter and let him know. Like the forgiveness and the mindset of Jesus and the depiction of the Father's heart towards us. I don't know if there's much worse sin if you could openly denying Jesus while he's dying on the cross. That's
pretty rough.
Yeah. But he comes to Peter, walks 80 miles to let him know, do you love me? Do you love me 3 times? Redeemed each sin, all that good. But you still have a calling on your life.
He never brought up the denial.
He never did.
He didn't have to. Peter
did. Peter knew, and he subverted back. And that's one thing. Yes, we all have regret. We all have mistakes. You can have a relationship. It's essential to have that overpour, that overflow, because life is going to be overwhelming. Because when you say minister to what? My wife? How do I do that? The dishes, hang the clothes, maybe vacuum when she didn't ask me to. Okay, that ministers to her.
Yeah, it does.
That ministers to her. Okay, like how do I minister to my kids? Time.
Just be there.
I mean, didn't we just talk? I don't have any time. Find something, a board game, go fish.
You will make time for what's important to you.
That's right.
Because people go, if I just had more time, I promise you, some of you men out there, you make time when it comes time for hunting. I know you do, because I know some of them was working on this job. Some of them just like, well, I'm gone. I'm gone for a month because I'm going hunting. I'm like, really? Because that's important to you.
Yeah.
Am I saying that's wrong? I'm simply saying,
No, it's not.
You will find time for what's important to you.
Because that story, if anything, dude, he walked 80 miles just to let them know, hey, we're good. Now let's go do business. Like, let me relieve you of the anxiety and stress that you have completely failed your ministry.
It's your fault.
Screwed it all up.
It's your fault.
Which he did.
Yeah.
And lost it all. Let me relieve you of that. Let me verbally make you hear yourself say you love me. Dude, feed my sheep. I'm not bringing it up. Let's go do work. And the peace that comes with that, like, okay, not all is forgotten, but we're not
All
bringing
is forgiven.
we're not bringing that up. And that, God, I suck today. I've said this before. God, I've sucked today. I suck today. Man, I botched it. I'm sorry. And I've tried to physically tell him because it sounds really bad when I hear myself do
Yeah,
it and
it
I don't want
does.
to do it anymore. Yeah, I know, but and it's not, dear Holy Father.
Yeah.
It's I have a relationship with him. And sometimes I walk in the shop, God, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I know I got to.
So, what would you say as we bring this to a close? What would you say are the top 3 things that we need to do
Good.
to not be overwhelmed with life and not be, have anxiety
I
as a
say,
follower
okay,
of
so
Jesus?
number one, if I'm a Christian, number one, I'll say 3 things. If you're in that state where you're like, number one, perspective. Get it. How do I
Get
get
God's perspective.
That's right. Get God's perspective. Somehow take a walk at 9:00 at night. And just, Jesus, if you love me, God, I know you love me. Please give me perspective.
Yeah, ask
All
him.
right. Number one, ask him, get his perspective. Number two, determine, is it a season
Yeah.
or reoccurrence? I think that's important. Like sometimes you just have to recognize, like, I've got 6, 7, and 8-year-olds right now. I won't have them forever.
Yep.
Okay. Season or reoccurrence.
Enjoy those.
From that determination is perspective, because this, I won't get Addie wanting me to come kiss her every night and tell me, Daddy, I love you. Tell me I'm the best Addie you know. That won't happen when she's 16,
No,
even when I'm exhausted
promise
and
you
I'm
it won't.
tired.
Well, let me just tell you, at Christmas time, I don't know if I can say this. I have a 28-year-old daughter who's over in Tuscaloosa. And I'd come in from work, and she had already come in, and she saw me in my chair. She walks over, and she's 28 years old, and she climbs up in my lap. Phew.
Dude, couldn't imagine.
Best Christmas gift ever. I just started weeping. I'm like, this is what matters. I mean, it was awkward. I'm like doing this.
Yeah. It's
I love you,
20
Bethany.
Yeah, you know? Yeah.
Hey,
I can't breathe right now.
but
Yeah.
my point being is that when she was younger, I maximized those moments.
That's right.
I maximized those moments, but I wasn't stressed.
That's right.
Just not going to be stressed.
Overwhelming and stress and anxiety is not going to steal that daddy moment.
Exactly.
And then
Don't let
number 3, once we determine, I think that's season or reoccurrence. From that determination, number 3 is, okay, where can I trim the fat? And I understand all I can do is all I can do for right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And God, you're going to have to do the rest, and trust. Those are the biggest 3 that I would say that I would start with, is just one, perspective, dude. And then determine, is it a season or not? If it's reoccurring,
You may need to make some adjustments.
yeah, like what you said, cut it out, or just say, hey, once every 2 weeks, me and my wife are going to go on a date.
And be disciplined about it.
That's right. Period. Put it on the map.
And then the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, wait, what? And then number 3, the last one is just going to be trim the fat. Trim the fat. Where can you let some stuff go? I love golf. I hadn't touched my golf clubs since December.
You will
It's
have
driving me
opportunity.
nuts. I don't have time. I could have gone. It's just,
It's not that important.
That's right.
now. It will be down the road.
it will be down the road,
but not
but
right
now. That's
Yeah.
right. So, any last words?
Nope.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. This is really kind of passionate. We love this topic because it's real. It's real. Is it a season? Is it reoccurrence? That's for you to determine. Get in the Word. Just ask the Lord to speak with you. Just do something crazy to grab your attention. So, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you want to hear about. What topic we can botch. So, have a good day. We'll see you next time.